Good morning. How are you this morning? Submit to Christ. Your face looks so youthful and fresh. I am well in you. Sorry. I've had better days, but prayerful. The echo in here is horrid. I keep hearing this sound. I don't know. There's a slight, yeah, I hear it. It's bad. I'm trying to keep the sound down because the higher I turn it, the more you can hear the echo. I just don't know. And I have played with the cameras and the mics, and they all do the same thing. Hopefully, we can get through this chat without too much issues. So, I'm going to just wait a few minutes to see if anybody else joins. It's so quiet. It's quiet outside. Excuse me. I had a couple of restless nights. Looking at that, your face looks so youthful. So I'm blessed with the good genes. Let's see, submit to Christ. Yeah, what's wrong? Life. As you know, we had another death in the family. So that's never easy. My godmother was 83 years old. Um, it's just, it's hard. It's hard to wrap your head around something like that. I know she would tell me um, to be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord. But she lived a beautiful life. Beautiful, beautiful. Raised 9 children by herself. Um, and she was best friend with my grandmother. And my grandmother, you all know, had 10. And then my aunt lived across the street. She had 9 children. So that's a lot of family. So just to see them raise these children by themselves just gives me life. Submit to Christ says, I know it must be our older generation is slipping away without the stories of the old ways. I fear for the next generation. Yes, that's why I'm always saying, talk to your children. Tell them stories. Tell them things that you normally wouldn't tell them. Just even the little things. I can't remember what we were talking about in the last chat. It may come to me. Hi, Compass. Um, but it was ironic because just the night before I was telling the twins about how they were situated in utero. Oh my gosh, I cannot remember what it was. But my girl, she's the oldest. They were kind of like this, and she tie your shoes. She was sitting on my son's head the whole time, and we would see him, try to move around, and they were fairly small, so they had a little bit of room. um, but he was always trying to move around, and we were saying how she was the greedy one. She came out first. She weighed an ounce more, so I was telling them that she was on top getting all the food. And then, oh, I know what it was. Um, and it kind of pertains to what we're talking about today. Um, and how he came out, and they were in NICU because they were born at 33 weeks and 5 days, and they were perfectly healthy just early, and they had to what they call feeder growers, so they had to learn, they hadn't developed that suck reflex, so they had to learn how to feed, and he progressed much faster, and they predicted 7 weeks because they like to keep them to term in the NICU, but uh, I was prayerful. So they didn't have to stay in that whole 7 weeks. But he came home early. And so, like I said, kind of what I was, well, they both came home early. But what I was going to get into in this chat was situating the home and prioritizing for unexpected events. This is the season that everybody is baby booming, and it throws a curveball in the homeschool, and I kind of said that my baby slept. They didn't. It wasn't even hard with the twins. The thing that really helped me with them was they didn't come home for 4 weeks. So I was discharged, I think, after 5 days. And I was able to come home. And by that time, I was fully recovered. I've just never had to spend too much time recovering. I was able to get up on my feet just like nothing happened, even though it was major surgery. So I was able to get up, clean up, get the house back in order. The only thing I had to do was pump and go back and forth to the hospital. And I would just go during the day, drop off, and just sit there and feed them. And then they had supply for overnight. And that gave me a lot of time to get things in order before I was able to bring them home. And so he came home a week early, or a week before Layla. So that's the only time they had spent apart. And it wasn't that hard. We had already established a routine with him by the time she came home. So I would take him with me when I had to go to the hospital to feed her, and it was fine. But if you don't have your routine down, house in order, your priorities set, having a new baby will just set a lot of things back. This echo, I don't want to make it worse. I had a C-section. Yes, all my babies were all C-sections. So I did a video on that because I hear a lot of women. Now, I'm not trying to hand out medical advice, but they put a limit on these sections. That's population control. That has to do with the government. And I've said not to. I think they told me after 4. At 4, I was presented with the paperwork, and it was just right there in front of me. And at the 11th hour, I changed my mind. I said, I'm not doing this unless it's medically necessary. So I didn't. And I always make sure to ask a lot of questions. Let's see, my first 2 children were born by the same doctor. And I made sure to ask him everything I could to find out what was going on and what he saw. And he told me I carry my babies high, and I have a tilted uterus. So, and being I have a small pelvis, all of my babies were, my biggest one was 7 pounds, 4 ounces, all the way down to the twins at 3'7" and 3'8". So, and I'm not a very big person. I'm only 5 feet tall. But he told me that I would not be able to deliver a baby vaginally. When I had got to my 3rd one, the doctor said, I'm looking at a squirrel, that she was willing to let me try. And I almost did, and I changed my mind. I just said no, because I kind of trusted my previous doctor a little more, since he knew, the complete history. And I said no, and I just elected to have that. And then after that, they were just all repeats. And I think pretty much the last 3, so the last 4 kids, they were all kind of emergency, but not emergency. They were scheduled, but they had to be done before schedule. So, it was the last 2. It was doctor's appointment from the doctor's appointment straight next door to the hospital. So that kind of messed things up, but for my day. Um, but other than that, I was fine. But yeah, they try to tell you not to, but you have to make sure that your uterus is competent. Um, Make sure the cuts are clean. You've healed well. Make sure you exercise, and that will definitely play a part. Now, if you are, I was high risk because I was over 35. But if you are high risk due to being obese or you are a bleeder or something like that, then yeah, you're going to have to cut it. You cannot continue to have sections like that. But each one, I've been fine. I haven't had any major issues except for the child that just left out of here. And I wouldn't say it was major. It was the anesthesia was the root of that. And one day I'm going to sit down and talk about from I'll tell birth stories from the twins on, because pretty much the other ones were, pretty cut and dry. Compass says all 7 of mine were C-sections also. I believe it has a lot to do with your doctor. Exactly. So I said, if you were to get pregnant, what is the doctor going to do? Tell you you can't have the baby? I mean, they have to get the baby out. So, yeah. And I said, JFK's mother has the record of 13 cesareans, and there's somebody that has 11. So I said, you have to have a good relationship with your doctor. There's a squeaking sound. Maybe you can lower the volume. Okay, I'm going to lower it and just see. I hear the squeaking too. Okay, I changed it. I don't know how much that's going to make a difference, but it's pretty much all the way down. Compass, why did you have cesareans? I see more women going to home birth, submit to Christ. Yes, I would have loved to have a water birth. It sounds a little better though. Okay, thank you, Smith. Like I said, because the room, look, let me see. My last box that I need to make is back there. So that means I'm done. Finally, at last, everything's done. The kids, I had the kids delegate. That's what I'm getting ready to get into. We packed up the kitchen yesterday, and so we are pretty much 100%. I have the computers, the printers, and just some random stuff that's going in the box. I think I probably had about 7 open boxes, and I went ahead and taped up like 4 of them. So I'm getting ready to throw my little desk stuff in some boxes and whatever little books we have left out. And I am completely finished. Oh, yeah, that echo is, I think it was better when I had the whiteboard still on the wall. But it had to go. Yeah, I wouldn't mind having a home birth. If I had the choice, I would do that. The first one was a doc was a doctor in a hurry. The second was a different doctor who misread the ultrasound, said the baby would be over 11 pounds. Changed doctor again before the third. Yes, I did. I changed after the twins and Aaliyah were born at the same hospital but different doctors. And I switched hospitals. I switched doctors. It was a mess. I was thinking about that last night, trying to recall what all happened with Aaliyah. We waited 43.5 weeks. I never went into labor. Wow. Yeah, I would have changed again too. All right, so I have some notes here. And a lot of this is pretty mm, pretty much tips that I have given you all throughout the vlogs and throughout the chats. But self-care is what we're going to talk about today. I just don't go into labor once I'm full term. Yes, I've never experienced natural gas labor other than miscarriages, says Compass Rose Acres. Submit to Christ. Wow, 43.5 weeks. I did not know you can stay pregnant for that long. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you sure can. My first one was she was overdue after after I delivered her. They said she was overdue. I think it was by a week, and I wasn't even scheduled to schedule her delivery for another couple days. The day I went in to I started having contractions, and what do you call that? Bloody show. It was just a couple little spots, but I had never had that either. And because it was the weekend, they really didn't want to do anything, but they called the doctor in the next morning. It was a Sunday, and that morning she was born. Um, what do you all do for, I should say, let me start with this. When you think about taking time for yourself, what is preventing you from taking time for yourself? I know we can have all kinds of excuses, and we never really evaluate the why, the real reason why. I always tell people if you start before you fail, so you don't fail before you start, um, you will have a much more meaningful motherhood. Don't set yourself up to fail. Submit to Christ says, I don't have much to do. I'm with my children 24/7, and honestly, I just don't have any real family. So you don't have much to do, so you don't take time for yourself because you're with the children 24/7. I can totally relate. I've been in, we've always lived away from family, and it's just been the kids and I. But I am very driven. I'm hobby driven. I first of all, I read a lot, so I just tend to use books as an escape, and that's that's part of my me time. I love photography, and I take a lot of pictures, um, things like that. I did at one point get into scrapbooking. I'm more of a scrapbook person than a planner person. I decorate the planners, but I don't use them. Submit to Christ says my father-in-law offered to take them. It's just what it's just that I wouldn't know what to do with myself. I know sad. Compass says I have family, but we're big family, and I hated to be asking for help when the grandparents are already tapped by so many others. That's a big one. Now, you can do this without outside help. It is great to have outside help, but you can do it without outside help. I had my mom once I moved her to the state, but I didn't use my mom like that. My mom would not even, not that she's a bad person, those are your kids. She would, come and hang out, visit us for her day off, but she wanted her time alone. She had raised my brother and I, and she just didn't want to be bothered. She loved the kids, but she didn't let, you know, them consume her, and I didn't feel that I should burden her with my kids. So if it was somewhere that maybe I had to go and I couldn't take them, which was rare, she would watch them, but I always had my kids. If they wanted to stay the night with her, they would stay the night with her. But for the most part, I always had them. Submit to Christ says only my mother and father-in-law are allowed to take them. Compass says it's easier for me in recent years because I have kids old enough to take care of siblings if I need some time. Yes. So again, a lot of the things that I'm going to just talk about are things that I already have. The first thing I do is kind of eliminate the morning badness. Okay, because a good morning kind of sets the pace. If you wake up and on the wrong side of the bed, then nobody's happy. Submit to Christ says in today's time we have to be careful who we allow in our children's lives. Yes, Compass says I have family that dump their kids on family to raise, and I'm not going to be that person. I totally agree. I totally agree. Yeah, it was hard for me, not so much the trust issue because I have good, circle of support, but I just didn't want to depend on anybody like that unless I really, really, really needed it. Smith says, Compass, I agree. Yeah, I know family will take advantage. Definitely. You need to plan and prep the night before, down to setting up or setting out breakfast. You know, a couple of chats ago, the kids got up. We were in an early chat, and the kids got up. They had breakfast, and they didn't need me. That was a long chat because I had already set their breakfast out. And even little children, you can train up that way to where they can get up, get dressed, self-sufficient. Um, lends itself to efficiency. Submit to Christ says it's a blessing that my in-laws want to be a part of their grandchildren's life. Sometimes hubby and I want to spend time together too. Yes, yes. So yeah, you want to prep. You want to get enough sleep. So you need to figure out how many hours it takes for you to be able to get up and function normally and not burn out to where you have to take a nap during the day. So get enough sleep. Wake up before the kids because that eliminates a whole lot of chaos. And that's just me. I like to. That's if I get up 6:30, 7 o'clock. I have about 2 hours to myself, and I can do a lot in 2 hours. Sometimes I'll clean house after I spend some time doing what I want to do, but I get up, I take a walk, I read the Bible, I read books. Sometimes I try to answer some comments. I may catch a video, just something that I can do in that time. And so I find that I do have time. I think about the day, what has to be done, and I start prioritizing so that it just, because if you wake up and then you start to wake the kids up, it can become overwhelming really quickly. Somebody doesn't want this, somebody wants this, you can't find this, you can't find that, and that just kind of ruins the morning. Compass says, and I'll admit, I don't trust people easily when it comes to my kids. We were close to another family for years, and it turned out the dad was molesting his daughters. Oh my goodness. I would have never guessed. Yeah, I am very careful. That is sad. Very careful with people. And I have done the same. I have friends that will bring me their kids. I have taken care of the kids, had the kids living with me through the summers and throughout the school year, just to because there were issues going on. So yeah, let's see. Yeah, when you get up and you have have your little time, and it's your time. You know that if you really look at it, put it in perspective, you get breaks. You just don't acknowledge that they're breaks. You have more breaks. You guys know I don't watch TV. That is another, um, it can be an idle passion. People don't consider TV being a break, but if you spend your me time watching TV, well, there's your me time. It's not quality, and that's what you're looking for is quality. So prioritize. Do you really want to spend your me time watching TV? If so, then don't complain about I never have time for myself or on social media. If you spend your time electronically leashed, Then there's your me time. Like I said, I was talking about earlier, prioritize by importance so the unexpected work or the unexpected won't cause too much setback. It goes into, having babies and, uh, impromptu vacations and things like that. In your homeschool, that really affects how things can run. If you're constantly worrying about what's going to happen next, then that will consume you, and you just spend all your time trying to figure out what next. Have that already in place. Proverbs 31:15 says she gets up before dawn to prepare breakfast for her household and plans the day's work for her servants' girls. So get up early, and it doesn't have to be full-fledged breakfast, but get up and get going. Plan it out. You need to incorporate the accountability factor into the children. So if you all do not use chore boards or whiteboards or charts or checklists or notes, that's something that you may want to consider. Delegate, delegate, delegate. I cannot say that enough. You will be surprised, even little children, what they can do. Compass says the hardest time was taking care of my dad, and I had little ones, but I wouldn't do it differently. He took care of me when I was young, and there was no hardship in taking care of him. Exactly, exactly. And we had kind of run into that with my mother when she got sick. Um, I did not, obviously, I had to leave the kids, but I was looking ahead in the event that things did not go the way they did. The care, what I would have to do for her, it was a lot. So I was going to look at having a nurse come in or hospice so that because there was no way I had little kids, there was no way I could manage like that. So you have to delegate, even if you don't want to. But like I said, little children, 2 year olds, 1 year olds can help with laundry. They can help with dishes. They can help with cleaning things, picking things up. You just have to train them. Don't worry about if it's not done correctly, if they're not putting the clothes in the drawers folded. Don't worry about that. As long as they're in the drawers, don't worry about it. Like I said, my little ones, when they get about 7, so we're still not at that point. I fold their clothes, and somehow between leaving the fold area and their drawers, they become unfolded. I don't require them until they get about 7 to keep them folded. But as long as they get in the drawer, I'm happy because we have a lot of laundry here, and that would drive me crazy to, I would waste a lot of my time just organizing the drawers. We know where it is. It's clean. They're fine. Don't sweat the small stuff. Compass says even then there was family that would come in for a few hours so we could have a break. And another thing I've always talked about is I use a routine and not a schedule because a routine is more flexible than a schedule. Something could happen. You have this nice schedule laid out. Something happens and it just messes up your schedule. A routine, 7 to 9, I'm in my time, 9 to 10, 11, everybody's getting up, the house is waking up, and, we do those, you know, routinely things, breakfast, teeth, hair, get dressed, things like that. And, sometimes I may get a phone call, a knock at the door, something like that. We'll move into schoolwork. Um, I may do some dishes, but it's not a schedule. I may not get to the breakfast dishes until lunch or dinner, and I'm fine with that. The house is not falling apart. I'm worried about my sanity. Sometimes I may start them on some schoolwork and go to wash up a couple of dishes, and then I hear somebody needs help. So I'm stopping what I'm doing and having to come back, but I'm fine with that. Sometimes, routine. Lunch for us could be anywhere from 1 to 3 o'clock, depending on what time they got up. So, we have that flexibility, which means that pushes dinner back, which means that pushes bedtime back, but we're fine with that. Compass says kids not only can but should help. Grown people are having to take adulting classes to learn how to do basic stuff. Yes. So, like I said, my kids got in there and packed up the kitchen with me, and they've been packing up their toys. They know where the tape is. They know how to use the scissors, and they know where the boxes are. So they've been packing their stuff. I told them if they don't pack it, I'm not picking it up. It's going in the trash. So they've been doing their own thing. They got in there, teamwork. We used assembly line. Made the boxes. You get this, and you give it to the next person. Put it in the box, and that's how we did it. So otherwise, I think it only took us about 30 minutes. I don't really have that much stuff. Um, like the silverware and stuff, I just dumped in a bag and then dumped in a box. So it didn't take me that long anyway. But food wise, they were helping me do the food, and that could have easily taken me an hour and a half. Compass says I have a fairly strict schedule when they're new babies, but in a few weeks they're sleeping through the night and I start moving into a routine. My life doesn't work long on a strict schedule. Yes, that's exactly how mine are. The babies are able to come in and work, they just flow with the routine. I never had to sleep, take a nap during the day. I was not that person because I had to keep going. My vacation was my recovery in the hospital. The longest I think my stay was 9 days. After that, it's back to the same old, you know, there was no, I need to sit down and recover some more after I get home. Things have to be done. And of course, I had things in the freezer and, um, quick stuff. And of course, some more kids. I had older kids that could cook and things like that. So I wasn't lacking a shower. I'm giving the baby to somebody and I'm taking my shower. Compass says once the older kids master something, they are great resources to help teach the younger ones. Yes. And let me see another tip: exercise. I do a lot of knee bends. I shared this on Instagram the other day. Funny meme. Um, I walk with the Lord all day, every day. That's plenty of exercise. That's the best exercise you can get because, He won't let you be tempted beyond what you can bear. And He does give us more than we can handle, despite a lot of people kind of misquote some things and say God will never give you more than you can handle, but it's misquoted. That's 1 Corinthians 10:13. He does give us more all the time, and we know that. But because we're weak, He's strong. 2 Corinthians 12:9-10. And also, if you rely on God under pressure, that is 2 Corinthians 1, verses 8-11. Um, Let me see, what else do I have down here? Oh, Jeremiah. It's a good one. The tree planted by the water. Jeremiah 17, verses 7-8. You have to stay strong. So, like I said, the first thing, I get up and I take a walk, and then I get into the Word, and I don't eat physically. I haven't eaten anything yet. I don't eat until I read the Bible. And I was having issues trying to finish packing, and that was because I was eating and then I didn't want to do anything. So yesterday I didn't eat until dinner because I knew if I did, I still had uh, probably about 10%. And if I ate, I wouldn't want to do anything. So I had to discipline myself, excuse me, to just get it done. So I feel a lot, I feel better. I'm fed on the Word. So I know Compass says Daniel couldn't handle those lions in his own strength, yes, but the Lord was able to handle what Daniel couldn't. Yes, so many examples out there. Yeah, and like you mentioned earlier, sometimes asking for help is the first step in allowing God to answer our prayers for help. Okay, so you have to admit that you need the help. Ask God. That is your first step, and just sit back and let Him see. Um, because He knows, and you watch and see what He does for you. Just ask Him. If you're just too proud to even ask, yeah, you are going to be stuck in that I'm overwhelmed, I don't have time type of thing. I keep my Bible over here. I keep it open sometimes because sometimes I just run in here, sit down, and I have intentions on maybe putting up a blog or something. I end up reading the Bible, and I will find a scripture and just kind of meditate it and, write down some things in my little journal, and it really helps. You can, if you're finding that you don't have time to read as much as you want to, a lot of times the kids are eating and I'm not, I'm reading my Bible. Sneak in little times. If you have to print up some scripture and tape it to the laundry room or to the bathroom wall or something like that, by the bathroom mirror, do that. It's little ways you can sneak in. I know everybody's electronically leashed. Use a Bible app. Another thing you want to do is simplify the activities. Simplifying is very vital to your family's ability to thrive and grow. Um, if you have too much on your plate, you're obviously just going through the motions every day. It's not meaningful. The activities become boring and redundant, and it just becomes a chore. You're running here, there, everywhere, and nobody's being really fulfilled. You're trying to fill a void, and that void is just not being filled. Submit to Christ says, I would like to go to a home ec class so I can learn some more basic things. Yeah, yeah, find and find some hobbies. Like I said, I learned how to crochet something. I was just I haven't done that in a while, but I would like to pick that back up. Um, yeah, just find some interest so you can do something that gives you life. Compass says I have to run a child to the doctor. Oh no, I'll catch up later. Well, thank you for joining, and I hope everything is okay. Um, but yeah, simplifying reminds me of the story of Mary and Martha. Luke 10:38 through 42. Martha was very busy and she was, distracted by what was going on. And Mary, sat at Jesus's feet. That's just, you want to be more like Mary. Not that it's not a good thing to be busy and, have friends around too. If you have friends coming over and things like that, that's not a bad thing, but you don't want to be too busy, too distracted that you can't find yourself. That means you're doing more for other people and not yourself. Sometimes you want to be hosted. You don't want to always be the hostess. You you want to reset your expectations, especially, like I said, for unexpected events and for homeschooling. You cannot teach the kids every single thing. That's just impossible. Not set the expectations so low that you're not doing anything, because then you become idle and then lazy. Have realistic expectations. You will know at the end of the year whether or not you realistically did everything you set out. And I have not shared I didn't share the plan this year, and I'm probably going to share it coming up, and then I will share the new plan because I know I did that before and it was really helpful. But realistically, we we accomplished everything that I intended. I'm going to tweak some things because they are a little more, the twins are a little more self-sufficient, and I'm trying to get more. My 5-year-old is technically now legal school age, so I have to get more on her and school her a little more. Last year we were kind of, she was able to do and keep up, but I wasn't so as stringent, and strict with her. If she didn't do something, I didn't really put too much emphasis on it. But now I really have to because it's legally her time. So, the other two, I'm just trying to uh, realign some things and make sure that they're able to, do a little more independently. And, a lot of times I keep I make lists of things and just keep them and just notes. I'm always having notebooks and things um, to kind of set up, things that, ideas or just, anything, prioritizing. Sometimes I look back on them, next week, couple months, next year, and it's a good way to reflect and just kind of say, okay, oh wow, I did do this, or I think I didn't do this. What happened? You want to involve your family in that. Sit down and have some family meetings, set up your expectations for the family. This is what I expect. Your husband is home in the evenings and laundry seems to be a big problem. Give him a day. Say, you do the laundry today and you take the children and the children will help you. That way you get some free time. Same thing for the weekend. Laundry is a big one. I always made sure my house was clean. There was groceries. The laundry was put away before I took off. So you want to prioritize. Don't leave that stuff. Like a lot of people when they go on vacation, they want to clean up the house because when you come back, you have laundry and you have to go to the grocery store and just all kinds of stuff. If you set it up, then when you come back, you won't have so much on the back end. I'm going to go back to this. I have talked to you all about decluttering and organizing your home. Purge, 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 purge. I cannot say that enough. That's like the number one out of everything I've given you. The number one tip, purge. Because I guarantee nobody said it yet, but that is the thing. You're consumed by things in your home. You're too busy having to maintain all of this stuff, having somewhere to put it. You're picking up things constantly and losing things. It's because the house is out of order. And that's why I suggest when people want to homeschool, the first thing they need to do, spend a couple of months, it may even take a year, clean your house. Really clean it. Get rid of every excess thing. I don't care if it's just bare when you finish. It will make your homeschool journey a heck of a lot better. Because when things get rolling and you have papers here, you have stuff here, it just, that becomes overwhelming. And then just teaching the children, it's a lot. It's a lot. That's where the chores come in. You have to set up your chore charts and your, delegate and things like that. Because just trying to keep up with things in the home, that cuts into your time. I don't like to spend time looking for things, having to find places to put things. Been there and done that. You want to get your pantry in order. You want to learn how to grocery shop. You want to learn how to keep your stockpile. Make sure you have an inventory. Know what's in your freezer. Know what's in your refrigerator. Know what's in your pantry. You want to meal plan. You want to invest in a crock pot and use it. Okay, I don't have to do my inventory and meal plan on paper anymore. I can do all that in my head. And I know some days I'll say, we'll talk about dinner and I'll say, I don't have anything planned. It's not that I didn't meal plan. I have days where it's just kind of, I know what I can, because I keep enough. I know what I can put together. And I'm not so stuck on, what are we going to do? So again, that's another big one. And you can ask for recipes, ask friends. You can always come here because I give you guys a lot of recipes. You could tweak them and cater them and things like that. See, another good place to go online is Yumly. Yumly has awesome. recipes. All of that put together will definitely lend itself to more me time. Your spiritual side will increase. You will become more enlightened. You can think more clearly. You'll function better. Definitely with a clean home, everything is where it needs to be. There's no excess. You've got your meals lined up. Um, I always talk about freezer cooking, double batching, even if it's a double batch and you eat it the day you cook it, and then the extra batch is the next or day after. Okay, put something in between it. Just stick it in the refrigerator. Um, shortcuts. I live on shortcuts. That's how I make it because a lot of times it's just a lot of things going on. But I find that I have a lot of free time. Even though it doesn't seem like it, I do have a lot of free time. I can say I'm tired or I'm just, you know, a lot of times I'm just bored. I'm not really tired. I'm bored because I don't have anything to do. I procrastinated on the packing and stuff. I have a week left and I'm bored. So I was waiting until the very last, this time to finish up stuff because I knew I wouldn't have anything to do. Wendy Sammy says, very sound advice indeed. As a fairly new mother, I have an almost 2-year-old and one on the way. I can testify that getting rid of excess makes your life a lot easier. Yes, yes. Like I said, just clutter. Clutter in the home is clutter in the brain. And then the children, my children don't function in clutter and chaos because I watch them. If I'm constantly saying, pick this up, pick this up, pick this up, pick this up, that messes with their psyche and they're just overwhelmed too. And then behaviors, you deal with behaviors. A lot of times people don't look at that. Why are the children acting like that? Oh, they're having a fit because they want another toy. No. Didn't you just tell them at home to go clean up and they weren't cleaning up? They don't really need that new toy. They need to learn how to appreciate the one they have. And it's because, you constantly give that they haven't learned how to appreciate that toy. But, you want to ask God. You have to, the first thing you do is take it to God so that you can restart. Also, I kind of always incorporate the fruit of the spirit. I want that present in my life. I want that to be legacy. And that's why you'll hear that a lot in throughout the vlogs and stuff with the kids because a lot of times they get in their feelings and I have to remind them, are you being patient? Are you being diligent? Are you being kind and loving? Or are you being selfish? So that they can understand what it means to be part of the family. I learned the hard way, says Wendy Sammy. Amen to that. Yes. Hold on 1 second. Let me run and check on these kids. Wendy Sammy says, I learned so much from you. Experienced mothers, you are such a blessing teaching the younger generation. Well, I appreciate that. You are a blessing to have here. It just kind of makes my time worthwhile. Excuse me. A lot of times I think about things and then I wonder if anybody's listening or anybody's interested, and I just don't know. But when you all bring me this feedback and this comment, then I can understand. I can relate with you all. Like I said, I understand being with the children all the time. The children are not going to be with you all the time. Trust me, when they are out of the house, you're going to be bored. You're going to really understand appreciating your children because you'll be by yourself and you just won't have anything to do. So find something to keep you busy. I know a lot of people blog to, that's their me time. It does take a lot of work. It takes a lot of time, and that's something I have been teetering on for a while. But right now, it's just too. It's not the season for it. What do you have? Mom, that's very good. Then we also gave us this. No. So we're taking exercise and push-ups. Okay. Yeah. Stay right where I told you to stay. Sitting here just eating. Well, thank you, Submit. Yeah, I think about the future, and what it'll be like, and it's not so bad, having the kids. Everybody knows kids are time consuming, and um, but that's the fruit. That is the fruit. They are a blessing. I would rather be serving my home than out in the workforce because there you're just receiving a paycheck that barely does anything. So I'd like my legacy to be in the home. I've had that experience of being in the workforce, and maybe I'll go back, but knowing my drive, I'm more entrepreneur. I do. I will probably go towards volunteering because I love to help people. So, that may be something in my future. Uh, yeah, find a hobby and go from there. After everything's said and done, you learn to recognize your me times. You do get them. You just don't realize that you get those me times. And even I say reading. When you're reading, you want to have your little Bible study, and the kids are out of sorts. Put on a movie. Let them do something you wouldn't normally let them do to occupy them. That way you can sneak in some more time. Give them something to look forward to. We were supposed to. I had to. I had to bribe them with cookies. We were going to make chocolate chip cookies after we finished doing the kitchen. Only I was missing butter, so we ended up making muffins. But Yeah, I had to tell him, look, if you do this, then I'll do this. Now, I didn't really want to stop to go in the kitchen because I haven't really been in the kitchen that much, but um, the payoff was greater. So they had their little treat, and I was saying, 'cause it's been, me trying to do things, and then they're running around and bothering each other, and I wasn't getting anywhere. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna have to reevaluate
Mom,
this.
here, I need them in the bag so they don't get wet.
You need them in what bag?
And a bag so the card game doesn't get wet. Yeah, that. Mom, and in case I fall, I put these on.
You have knee pads?
Yeah.
Okay. Here.
And they gave me this too.
Oh, okay. Submit to Christ says, I'm looking forward to becoming better though. My current trial, I'm learning patience because it takes patience to raise children in obedience. Yes, you have to be patient. Patient, patient. Like I say, you get the child that, you have to train the children to be patient, but you get them, in the stores and I want to go here, I want to go there, I want to do this, I want to do that. They don't learn. And but when you can teach them, you show them that there's okay, if we do this and we do this, then we can do this. A lot of people are just so busy. I said back in the activities, you're so busy just running out the door, running out the door, running out the door, and nobody really appreciates what it takes to get out of the door. I always kept my kids, my older kids were in, quite a bit of activities. Um, and they were in scouts and things. So I delegated some of my outings to somebody else. They did the camping and the, going here and going there. And I just had to put in a little front work by making sure they had the supplies and, whatever. But they knew if things were not done in the home, then they weren't going to participate in those activities.
Look what else they gave me.
No, cool. We like to get out when it's time to get out, and spend a while somewhere. But we also, like I said, we know the responsibility and the work it takes just to get out of the door. If the laundry is not done, nobody has clothes. How are you going to go out with no clothes? So, if you want to go out and you don't want to spend any money to eat out, or you don't eat out, you know that everybody has to eat. So that means you have to have time to cook. So there have been many days that I didn't cook. And I remember recently I was looking at Facebook gives you the year back or a couple years back, and the post came up and it said, "Mom, what's for dinner? Pizza?" And I said, "No, I took the bread out because the dishes were still in the sink." And so that happens a lot. Yeah, the bread came out of the freezer. I was not cooking anything because nobody wanted to wash dishes. So I had some time because.
Mom, next time can we go to Family Dollar and buy Zaya Barbie? They gave Zaya a Barbie thing with a Barbie dress and a Barbie suitcase and some Barbie shoes.
Okay. But yeah, I knew I would have some time to myself because they knew how to go in and make their sandwich, and it was a lesson learned. Yeah, I could have bought pizza, but I didn't. You know, they would have had their pizza, they would have been happy, but my dishes would have still been in the sink. So you have to, um, sometimes it's a forced, self care. But they live, they'll survive. And they probably won't get it until they're grown and on their own. But that's to be expected. As Zion says, and here, make sure I got all the comments. I think I read all of them. A couple people are absent today. Hopefully they are doing well. And nothing has happened to anybody. But we're in an hour and 20 minutes almost. So time change and yeah, I don't know. I said I'm flexible with the timing and I don't mind doing early chats. It just depends on it depends on you all. Be right back. I have to change my battery. Okay. Says submit to Christ. It's 12:07 now. Oh, just looking, it's so peaceful. It's windy out, which is kind of rare. It's not hot. The sun is not out. It's pleasant outside. So I'm gonna go outside and hang out for a little bit. Because normally it's burning up and I would not be outside. And I need to get some dinner made. I think we're doing spaghetti today. So that'll be dinner. And I don't have to worry about doing anything. And of course, I have my salad. I can just finish up what I'm doing here. I'm trying to, I've been lesson planning in my head for a long time and thinking about resources and books that I want to use, especially with the 3-year-old. And that's what I want to get down. I've been printing up some things that we're going to cover, some things that I need to laminate and have ready. I think I had another stack of things that I already put away, but I pulled up another one and said, let me just do this so that I can be prepared. So I didn't even look at this. Repeat that. But that's pretty much what I've been doing all along in prep work. A lot of prep work. Not a lot, but um, prep work gets you are. I don't like to have to struggle and stop in the middle of what I'm doing just to prepare for something else. So I'm trying to lay everything out for the year so that, especially since we haven't really been doing too much the past month, so that we can just pick back up next week and, continue what we didn't finish and continue what we started. That's what I'm doing. Waiting to open my, I was waiting to open the, of a fresh box of laminating sheets. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that because the laminator is in the box behind me, but it's not. The box is not sealed, and so I said I'm just going to take advantage, and that's my me time. When I don't have anything else to do, I'm bored. I just, even though it's not anything really pertaining to me, that just eases my mind to be prepped that way. So I have the I'll be going over again with some resources, the little one, the skeletal system, and that's the thing with the two little ones. A lot of the stuff we did, especially science-wise, is a repeat again, and I'm kind of thinking, should I cover it again? But I'm gonna go ahead and cover it because I have the other or the resources. And the 3-year-old, I think she's able to understand more because she was talking all about this. I had put the stuff up. So that is the reason why I'm going to go ahead and laminate these. And then I have, with our nature anatomy book, because they love that, we're going to go over trees. These are words that are on the word wall. And they're going to teach them all about the different parts of tree bark and things like that. So these I will laminate, and then I have our new, what do we call these? Name tags for the table, because we get to decorate in the room. So I'm going to trying to get some things together and figure out what I want on the wall and not on the wall. Change some things up. So with my and I don't have the particular one out, but with this, I get all of those resources, bulletin board decorations, coloring pages, the word walls, all kinds of stuff. So that's where I've been in these little things, these little discs for that. And then I'm thinking about school supplies. It just seems like the year is flying by, but I need some school supplies. So yeah, we got to get some things in place. See, submit to Christ says, sometimes I color with the children. It's so relaxing. Yes, I sit and draw. We do the draw right now. I have the books on PDF, and I will sit down and draw the pictures with the kids. And it is relaxing. We'll do like journaling pages. I will sit down and color with them and just help them out. It says, Wendy Sammy says, I need a great Bible to start reading to my toddler. I have a hard time finding one where I live online for that matter. Can you recommend any? How do you handle Bible times with your little ones? At Wendy, you can use the regular King James Version. Yes, regular King James Version is good. I also shared Wendy good Bible curriculum that was developed for the ones, twos, threes, and fours. Um, Joyful Hearts Bible Curriculum. That is the video. It is free. Everything is free. I don't have my book. It's in the it's in my binder. The curriculum is in the box already. But she has a great little thing, and I think it can come up to be, I want to say 34 weeks maybe worth of material. And there's some coloring, there's some crafts, there's some, I think, a couple of recipes. It's a really good one. So I incorporate that one. I like it because of the character uh, virtues that she put in it, and then the she gives you a place to reference for the Bible stories. So it's kind of an all-in-one deal, and we take each week and put up a verse, and she sets it to song. That's what really engages the little ones. Like my 3-year-old loves anything that has to do with music. If that's all school was, she would be happy. She wants to sing. She wants to uh, listen to music. So what I do with her a lot, we sing a lot of things just to keep her entertained, and she retains it like that. So yeah, check that out. Hubbard's Cupboard is her blog site. Yeah, personally, we use the Adventure Bibles um, because they're just easy for the kids to handle, and the wording is really gentle. It's not anything harsh that they can't really understand, what it means. And then as they get older, we have one that is for 9 to 12-year-olds, but the older they get, usually around 10-ish, they can handle the regular King James. And then we have our illustrated Bible also. They will read through it, but it's so big. They like something they can kind of manhandle. Because that's just something they do. We do a lot of just reading from the Bible, and they'll do, instead of using actual reading books. Submit to Christ. Or Wendy Sammy says, I somehow always thought the King James Version was too strong for little ones. Yeah, some of this stuff they will not understand. It's just, I mean, you can read it to them, but then you have to kind of rephrase it and explain it to them. Smith says, I started with Genesis and just read through it. I believe we are up to First Samuel. I believe it's a little harder when it comes to the genealogical parts. Yeah, I kind of had to skip through some of that because they just, they don't get all of it. But I will not name everybody, but the important people so that they get whatever's coming next. Submit to Christ says, at Wendy, the King James Version is the Word of God, the true Word of God. The other interpretations are taking out things from the scriptures. Yes. Yeah. You have to, it's like I said, it goes along with age, what they can understand. Book, make sure that on notes. Wendy simply says, I agree to that. Submit to Christ. Make sure I found that out. Not too long ago, says Wendy Sandy. Shalom, Vicky. How are you? We are having a nice day. Nice of you to join us. Hopefully you enjoyed the replay on video. So yeah, everybody focus on having a good morning, but go through and make a list, prioritize things. This is, summertime. Shut school down for a while and get your house in order. Delegate. That way things can get done faster, more efficiently, and you cannot worry about, okay, still have to plan. I still have to do this. I still have to do that. We're going to be behind. You're going to be behind if your house is not in order because you're going to be a slave to the house. So that is what you want to do during this time. Shut everything down and realign things you may have to get rid of. You may have to take them, to donation places and things like that. If you want to do a yard sale or, something like that, that's always great to generate, fund money. Because in the end, after everything that I just talked about, that equates to fun. So you all are going to start to have more fun as a family. You're going to have more energy as a mom to have fun with the children. Get down and paint with them, color with them, draw with them, play more board games with them. Go outside, toss the ball around, the sidewalk, chalk, uh, bring out the swimming pools and things like that, the water sprinklers. Fun. Sit down and watch a good movie. You won't be so tied to doing other things.
Mom, now you can't play Giant Barbie because Layla gave it to our friend.
Okay.
And now they're fighting, they won't give it back.
Okay, we'll get it back. Thank you for letting me know. Submit to Christ. Excuse me, Mama Vicky. I was just thinking of you. Submit to Christ, says Wendy. I think the worst Bible version is the Message. Vicky says, "Hi, submit." Oh yeah, you will have so much more free time for fun, and then your meal planning. Get in the kitchen and cook with the family. You'll have more time. A lot of times we are just so pressed to barely can't get a meal plan, barely getting anything made at all. And that's because we have spent too much time throughout the day doing other things. Meals are our priority. Having healthy meals are our priority. So those are things that I put more emphasis on. Um, making sure I have the things that I need and, ideas of what I can pull together, what I can go and create because a lot of times I'm bored and I just go in the kitchen and cook, not necessarily because it's mealtime or because I'm hungry. I'm just bored and I like to go play with food. So that's something I do. I just go and boredom buster. But it's a great way for the family to connect and have fun. Yes, prioritizing is a must. Have dad on his day off, or even, I don't want to say everything on the day off because it shouldn't be that way because we don't get a day off. Let him come in, pick 2 nights a week, even that, that he's working. Uh, you cook tonight. Just make sure you have everything. He can pick whatever it is he wants to make, and let him take over dinner. Let the kids help him. Give you a break. Sit down and read a book. Put your feet up. Do nothing. You shouldn't spend a whole lot of time. Once you get a meal plan, you get your grocery organization, your inventory. Once you get all that down, your system in place and running smoothly, you shouldn't spend a whole lot of time in the kitchen. It should take you about 30 minutes in the kitchen to do whatever, and that includes prep, uh, cooking, and your cleanup. You clean up as you go along. But the more you learn, like going to when I get the vegetables and things like that, usually we have a very full refrigerator. But usually by the second day, I'm going in to make up fresh salad. So I will spend an hour washing up everything, chopping up everything. Even if it's something for a soup, I'll chop it up, put it in a jar, stick it in the refrigerator. Those little shortcuts free up my time later on. Snack prep. I do, because we do veggies and fruit for snacks as well. So I make sure I get all of that prepped. If I spend an hour doing that, I don't have to do that. The kids can just go to the designated containers in the refrigerator, pull it out, and there's their snack. Meant to cry since I got my feet up now for a second, but I soon have to wash clothes and dishes. Yeah, I hear you on that one. Yeah, find your shortcuts are going to be your lifesavers after everything is, prioritized, everything's organized and cleaned up. Because that's what I do. I like to sit down and do nothing. I want to sit down for 2, 3 hours straight. That's what I want to do. And I can do that because everything else is done. I'm not stressing about, oh, I have to go do this, I have to go do that, um, that type of thing. I've been sitting here for an hour and 38 minutes. I don't have anything else to do. I just haven't eaten. But, everything is pretty much done. I am going to close up soon and get the children in for lunch. I know they're going to be coming to me saying they're hungry. So, other than that, I try to make sure things are lined up. Hmm. What is everybody doing for dinner? Calendar. See. May 1st. Now, I know I said if I come back on anytime this week, it'll be Wednesday or Thursday. I don't know what time, because I'm probably just taking my me time. But that will be the last stream until the 30th, maybe. Or if I just come back on a Thursday, that'll be the 1st. So it just depends. I don't want to, move and then just come back. You know how it is moving. I'm gonna be tired and just, yeah, if I'm bored. But we'll have internet next Monday. So it's not like I'm losing internet. I'm probably just trying to relax. But yeah, definitely the next one will be Wednesday or Thursday of this week. And I have a topic already for that. If anybody has anything that they want to discuss in a coming chat, let me know right now. And I'll write that down. So I look for you all to give me the ideas as well. Submit says, is there going to be a live stream next week? And I just answered that. I look forward to a new homeschool room tour. Oh, wow. Yeah, me too. I'm not, I don't know what I want to say. I'm going to shake things up. I have to get rid of the boxes, but it's going to be very minimal. I just want to, that's what I was trying to figure out now. I had some things I wanted to see if I wanted to change the, theme it up, make a theme for each season or something like that. Because on those, on their curriculum, I have different little resources. Like I think there's apple theme and beach theme and ladybug theme. And then I showed you all the owl theme. So I think that's what I'm going to start with, the owl theme. But again, I don't want to put too much work into for a show. We need to get back into schoolwork. So I'm just going to kind of throw things up that we need and set them up. And you all will see the room, as it comes together. I want to make different. Okay. The lights are like different little areas. You need to go to the restroom. Hold on 1 second. Go turn on the light. Let's make it. Make it to the restroom. Turn the lights on. There you go. Lights on. Turn the light off. So, yeah, I don't want to put any more money. I have something that I need to get. I shared with somebody a while ago. Um, just for things to go on the wall. I don't want so much on the wall, but I also don't want to buy anything else, if that makes sense. So I just want to set up a little area for this and a little area for that in the room. So it'll be a little different than this because the space is obviously different. Submit to Christ, Mary. We can choose a chapter or verse of scripture to read and meditate on and then come back. Okay? Do you have a suggestion for a scripture or a chapter? Excuse me. Psalms 101. I was looking at Proverbs. Grab a pen.
I just need some paper.
What do you need? A piece of paper? Okay, hold a second. Piece of paper for Zai. Piece of paper.
I need the
One piece of paper?
Yeah.
Okay. One piece of paper. It's a double rack. Yes, ma'am. That was my idea, Vicky. I had shared with somebody before that because they didn't know, like, you know, Lakeshore Learning sells all these poster charts display. And I told her, I said, you know what? Go get a hanging garment rack. And she had thought of that. I said, girl, yes, I had one before. And you can also make one with PVC pipe. It's the same $10. But yeah, so that's what I'm going to do because I have a lot of big posters and I don't like to have all that stuff, especially the big ones. Something I print out is fine, but I have a lot of big ones that I need to use. And I just didn't do it here because the floor space. I want to be able to just leave it and not have to put it in a closet. But yes, if you all don't know, instead of using those expensive hanging poster charts, go to the store and get you a hanging garment rack. And then take your posters and hole punch them. And you can laminate them if you want. Take them to the office supply, but you don't have to. You use some reinforcement. Get some book rings, or if you don't have book rings, guess what? Shower curtain rings work just as well. Ring that stuff up on there, and you don't have to all those. Um, you know what? I got some over here. I just put them. Show you like this size. That's a whole bunch of them, and I would just put them down, take them out, and use them as we needed them. But I have some that I had not had up in a while. I'll show you. Get them out here. I just kind of keep them in the plastic, but this size. And these I would just lightly put up when we needed them and then take them down. But I want to put them on because I have some more. And yeah, so that's what you do. Yep, you are so right. You just read my mind exactly. You do not spend a whole ton of money on one of those things. Like I said, you can do it with PVC pipe for the same. Let's see, you said, let me go back to my notes page so I write the scripture down. So yes, a couple of things like that. That's what I'm going to share. A tabletop one. Yes, yes, a tabletop one. Yeah, they are so easy to make. It's a lot of things that people use that are so easy to make. Psalms 101. People make, I've showed you the sensory bands. You can make a water table with PVC pipe and the plastic sterilite containers. But people, sell those things. And you just got to buy the pipe and put the stuff together. It's so easy. And they last a lot longer, too. Same thing with a light table. You can make a light table. Christmas time, after Christmas, make sure you rack up on lights Sterilite containers, the clear ones with the lid. That's how you make a light table. You put the lights inside the box. And the objects, that stuff is very simple. But let me go back. It says, I'm not sure if you all use posters or not, but I got one of those garment racks. It's a double rack. Put all of our posters on the 3-inch rings, and it works very well. I just didn't have wall space. And that was the same thing I showed with using the, you can use poster board, or the cheapest way, use, that is the cheapest way. You can use a project display board and make a, what do they call those things now? I didn't see it till after I showed you guys. Portable office with all of your, make it trifold or bifold, your daily things like the learning the weather, the calendar, the word of the week. If you don't have the space on the wall to display that, that's the stuff I don't like. But I have the tabletop pocket charts, and that's the kind of stuff I move around. We don't have to use that every day. And then they have that stuff in their binder. But to me, I don't like that stuff on the wall. It just looks cluttered. So I had the mug rings and hooks for a wall for a long time. It makes it easier to flip. Yeah, definitely. And then also you can take those rings if you have smaller. You can even, especially with the double rack, your all of your flashcards. You have them on rings. Put them on the double rack. On the other one. That way they'll just be lined up there, and you don't have to worry about stuffing them in a bag or in a drawer. You can't find them. You have them in one place, standing in the corner. Um, okay, we will read up and we'll come back in Psalm 101. Okay, we can meditate on that one. Give you all one last scripture, and this is regarding homemaking. She looketh well to the ways of her household, and eateth not the bread of idleness. Proverbs 31:27. And that's the King James Version. So, again, what you see in social media, you don't see that, those people are lacking, efficiency and, orderly, the self-care. You don't see that. They show everything to be picture perfect. They're made up, they're dressed nicely, they're, this, that, and the other, but there are things lacking in the home. The home may be a mess, the children may be running amok, nobody's fed. Don't idolize that. So that is our next topic. Let me think. Let me look at. Blessed is she who believed that the Lord will fulfill his promise to her. You see, that's my shirt. So that's just something I have to wear it. I claim it. No, I am not perfect, but I believe. I will sing mercy and judgment unto thee, O Lord. I will sing. Okay. So, oh, you have a car. Hello, Kitty. And a house. Christ says, amen. And a house. Yeah. It's a music house. Oh, wow. How nice. I will behave myself wisely in a perfect way. Oh, when wilt thou come unto me? I will walk within my house with a perfect heart. Yes, I will set no wicked thing before my eyes.
Mom,
I hate the work of them. Yes, ma'am. Okay. That turn aside, it shall not please me.
The car could drive over.
You picked a good one. Okay. Let me look at my thing, my notes. And I'm pretty sure that does line up. Yep, it lines up. The topic is, are you a humble homeschooler? So that actually fits right in with that. Psalm 101. It's so powerful. I believe she's reading some of it now, though. Yes, I was glancing over it as well, says Vicky. So yes, we can all meditate on that. And again, the next topic is, are you a humble homeschooler? So that's something to think about, and we can all come together and chat over that, what it means to be a humble homeschooler and the likes. What do you have? Oh, okay. Oh, all right. I'm gonna get me a notebook. Yes, that's some. I always have mine, but then I forget, and somebody else said it. Yes, keep a notebook. Keep a notebook and some pens handy, because sometimes we talk through stuff, and if I've written notes, because sometimes I forget exactly what I want to, everything I want to kind of get into, so I have to write stuff down. But yeah, my memory, exactly. I'm telling you guys, I was moving stuff around. I'm so tired of this. I'm ready to just, next Saturday cannot come fast enough. I haven't shared yet the things that I've added to curriculum, and I had a book, and because we've been using the book, I left it out. It was for my first grade. I'm telling you, and I cleaned up, and most of the stuff is boxed up, but I could not find that book. I was almost in tears because I couldn't find the book. I had the book, but not the workbook, and I'm like, I can't do the video without the workbook. I need the workbook. But I was so, I've been losing all kind of stuff, and I knew I had it. I knew I bought it. I had to go back and search to, you know, the invoice, and I almost bought the book again. Hmm. All of them mixed up. But yeah, my memory is failing. That's that premenopause or menopause setting in. Hmm. So keep you a nice little notebook, journal. I keep notebooks too. If I don't want to write, like my one journal here, I don't want to write in the journal. There's a little place to write in it. I will most likely just copy the scriptures and write in my notebook. My thoughts. You have a Hello Kitty house? And I have so many of these laying around here that that I use. So sometimes if I don't want to use one, I use another one. Okay. Oh, Vicky says this is such a blessing. All right. So if there's nothing else, hopefully you took away some positivity from the message. It was a blessing to be able to come in and chat with you all today. As always, share, invite. Um, you never know who needs to come in and hear some good conversation. You never know who it may touch. You put it on your card. Vicky says it is so important for us. I think. Oh, that echo is gone. Yeah. Um, yes, it is important. Submit says it is important, Mama Vicky. We need this accountability. Vicky says I will have to watch from the beginning to see what I missed. Yes, definitely watch from the beginning. I said I had a couple of pages of notes that kind of, you know, talked about time, me time, and where to find your time, and what happens after you find out you have all this free time that you're saying you don't have. How to get the free time if you don't have it, because you're constantly with the children, which is a given. But don't despair, because you can find plenty of pockets of free time and me time, and do what you want to do during that time. Yes, ma'am. All right. Oh, there's nothing else. I am going to say shalom, and I will see you all Wednesday or Thursday for the next chat. They do. Provided nothing happens, if anything happens, I will type in a something in the chat box. Those unexpected happenings. Enjoy the rest of your day, ladies. You too. Shalom.